Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei but more. Today we're going to do my pick'ems for mid-off season 3. I'm recording this at 1 in the morning because my sleep schedule is bad right now, so I apologize for not talking very loudly, but we're doing it regardless. The way we're doing pick'ems is there's this website over here. I clicked one to test, and you can click people and it'll put them through the round, and through all of that I will do my choices, my decision making for who I think will win. Potentially, the mid-offs season 3. These are the matches that are going to be taking place tomorrow. We will not be watching day 1 on stream, but day 2 and day 3, so on the 21st and on the 22nd, I will be live to unofficially co-stream the mid-offs. I'll be doing a watch party of the whole thing, and it should be fun. So be there on Saturday and on Sunday, on the 21st and 22nd at, I think, 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. GMT? 5 p.m. GMT, whatever it says up here. These are the time zones, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's do our pick'ems for mid-offs season 3. Starting with, of course, Lexi Marie versus Evbo. I've been seeing people talk about it on Twitter. They did Lexi dirty. That's just how it goes. It's the number 1 seed versus the number 16 seed. From my knowledge, at least, that's how they do it. I don't really know how they picked the 16 seed because I think there's multiple people who have yet to complete a speedrun. I assume all of them are tied, so maybe it's random. Maybe they decided to split it up coach-wise. I have no clue. I honestly don't know. Probably is a coach split, if I had to guess. Right, probably. Anyways, this is the situation that we're dealing with, Lexi versus Evbo. I think Evbo probably takes it. Evbo, I think, has a sub 15, a sub 14. I don't even know. But he's doing pretty good. I will say Lexi could make something happen here. I do not want to see people completely throw Lexi out of the chances of winning, because Evbo is stupid, okay? And I can say that. I love Evbo, but he can be a little stupid sometimes. And Lexi, I don't know Lexi as well as Evbo, I think, but she seems great. I've met her. She seems awesome, so maybe she's good at speedrunning, I don't know. Anyways, next up we have Bitzel Supreme versus False Symmetry. I have seen False do a good amount of practicing with hacks, but I've also seen Feinberg do a lot of practice with Bitzel, so I feel like this could be relatively close. I think Bitzel is mechanically a little bit better, so I do think Bitzel is the favorite out of these two to win, but I think False could make something happen. It kind of depends also on, of course, what situations the players might have to deal with in the middle of the match. For example, what if the seed is something they haven't really practiced well, then they're going to have to rely on their coaches to give assistance, and then it's going to come down to who's the better coach for hands-on backseating. I guess we're going to have to see. I'll say it's a 65%, 70% in favor of Bitzel, though, or something like that. Next up, Deme versus Nominal Gravy. I am actually very curious to see how Deme will do in the mid-offs. Deme, of course, has played in Block Wars a couple of times, and recently has been on a winning streak, which is still ongoing as of right now. But I do fear that Nominal Gravy is one of the favorites to win the whole tournament. Bro has a sub 14, I think. It's kind of nasty. So yeah, sorry Deme, but I gotta give this one to Nom to start. This might be is it 16 versus 1, 2 versus 15? How does that work seeding wise? Or do the seeding situations not take place like that? Because surely Bitzel is not the number 2 seed, right? Maybe he is. Unless he is, maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, that's the situation. So Nom, I think, takes it over Deme. Then up next is Scar vs Eloise. I did a little bit of research on MCSR Ranked, and neither of them have completed a speedrun before, I think. I checked private rooms. They have played, but I don't know if they've completed a run. Maybe things have changed now. Actually, we could take a check very quickly. Has Scar done anything? No, but he's got a little bit of motion going on, but it's looking like we're still learning very much. And then Eloise, private room, the most recent time she played, looking a little bit faster. So I would say it's favorable for Eloise here. I do love Scar though, must say, but I think Eloise is favorable here. And I want to continue in the same side of the bracket first, because I think it's interesting. Evbo versus Bitzel. Now, this is Evbo led by Infume and Derapchu, so Infume, and then Bitzel led by Feinberg and Rattles, which will probably... I actually don't know how the duo coaches are going to spectate their own players' matches, because having two people backs at you at the same time is probably not a great idea, but it is probably good to have multiple different opinions. I don't really know. I'm going to give it to Evbo. Bitzel Supreme could upset Evbo here, alright? We could see an upset here. But I do think Evbo has just a lot more practice at this current moment. Bitzel's been too busy making cool graphics for Bitzel Supreme, but doesn't actually play as much as Evbo does, I think. And Evbo also played before mid-off, so yeah. And then next up, Nom versus Eloise, I do think goes to Nom. Like mentioned, he is just one of the favorites so far. And then Evbo versus Nom is honestly kind of close. Evbo led by Infume, Nominal Gravy led by Silver Runs. I do like... I don't know. I like the chances of Nominal Gravy here. Evbo's my homie, but I think Nom, to me, currently seems like the top pick. He's just good. He's just good. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He's just good. Anyways, that brings us back to this side of the bracket, which would be Ludwig versus Mellings? Molly, I think, is her name, or their name, rather. I do think Ludwig takes that. I saw a clip from Ludwig reacting to Molly's gameplay, and Molly tried. But Ludwig's completed a speedrun before, so I do think Ludwig's the favorite. But I also think Ludwig can die, and there could be something crazy happening here. But we'll have to wait and see. I do think Ludwig probably takes that. Then it's Saps versus Super. Now, the funny thing is, I personally would have instinctively said Saps takes that just purely based on, mechanical skill, but Super is actually pretty decent. Let me actually see. So Saps hasn't done a ranked speedrun, but Saps does have a PB, a couple of completed runs that are sub 18, which is very much good. That's great. Super TF, who I think's username is like that, right? Yes, Super TF plays ranked. Literally played yesterday. Bro, hello? Oh, okay, well, I guess Super TF, it's not even that close. I mean, the match could be close, but Super is crazy at it. He's crazy with it. He's the GOAT, potentially. We'll have to wait and see, though. Anyways, next up, Paperback versus Juicy. No, I haven't done my best of research on either of these players just yet. However, I do know they played one, or they attempted one ranked match. They've completed the game before, which is promising. That's good. They're literally playing pretty much right now. I do think Juicy is probably the favorite. I don't know what Juicy's username is. I've seen Juicy do a lot of coaching with Curry. Paperback, I actually don't know who Paperback's coach is. It might... Is that Infume? I think it might be Infume. And I'm going to assume Infume is putting a lot of his stocks into the camp of Evbo rather than the other player. And then Derapchu is Derapchu. So I think Juicy probably takes that over Paperback. Next up, Bilzo versus Pilly. I don't think I've seen Bilzo do any practice. Is that even Bilzo's username? It's not. Well, I'm going to give that to Pilly, purely on the fact that I haven't seen Bilzo do any practice. I've probably just not seen it. And I have seen Pilly do practice with both of their coaches, by the way, so that's interesting. Then it's Ludwig versus Super TF. Look, man, Ludwig's one of the main people that I think people have their eyes on for this event, just with the hope that he does well, or with the hope that he does bad. I just think people want to see Ludwig do anything with speedrunning as much as possible, but Super TF is a different beast. Super TF right now, I would say, is a top 5, like, player for sure, potentially top 3. Probably coming in 3rd right now behind Fbone Nom, but maybe on average Super is better than either of these players. I haven't really done my high level of research into that, which we'll get to when we get to this point. Then Juicy versus Pilly. Now this one is particular because Juicy is a what's it called? Juicy is a Clash Royale streamer, I think. Pilly, of course, is a Minecraft streamer, but I also feel like Juicy, with the Curry White and K4 Y4 coaching, has a lot going for him. Pilly, I think, is being coached by Harvey and whoever the main coach is of that squad. I don't remember particularly what the squad was again. I think this could be going to Juicy for the live coaching. If I knew Juicy's username, I could see some stuff. I might be super overrating Juicy or underrating Pilly. Actually, I do want to take a look very quickly. D-Town Cat. Because I do think that is not a person. D-Town Cat underscore. Nope. Okay. No gameplay. I probably got the username wrong. I do think Juicy probably is the favorite off memory. And then Super TF takes it over Juicy here. Alright. That's the winner side so far. Actually, no. Let's do Nominal Gravy versus Super TF immediately because I think it's interesting. So, Nominal Gravy. Nominal Gravy's definitely been playing a good amount. But, interesting. So, Nominal Gravy's private room PB is like a this. But what is this seed? It's a ruined portal and a housing bastion. So that's decent. The bastion split, enter is very quick. Ruined portal does help with that. The bastion split itself could be quicker, but it was pretty solid. This split is nice. I like seeing that. And then the dragon purchased pretty quickly. Seems like a pretty favorable, pretty favorable match. And then we look at Super, who got a 14-32 in an actual ranked match. And what happens here? Village Bridge Bastion. Bastion split, a different Bastion, of course. Bastion split's decent. This person dies, so Super could have actually lost this. That's crazy. The rest of this looks pretty good. Super's just got more playtime. Am I wrong to say that? Or at least just more like actual opponent playtime. I guess we don't know if that matters. Let's look at like this, for example. Is this close? It's not bad. It's not bad. Super just needs a better Bastion split, and then he's honestly chilling. Oh, okay. So neither of these players have great Bastion splits. That's one of the things I have personally figured out through watching and playing. Bastion routes you cannot really live coach super well. You can remind people of things they already know, but you can't really teach people new things. So they have to know the Bastion routes already to a pretty decent extent, and you can throw in little reminders if needed. They don't have to know all the backups and stuff. You can get a coach to help with that. But yeah, from what I'm seeing, Super TF consistently might be better, but I also do want to look at FBO now, because it's FBO YT, right? Because I thought Nom, is it FBO underscore? I thought Nom was a lock-in, but maybe FBO is, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. No, we might have to revert our predictions. Wait a damn minute. Hold on. FBO's a pacing man. He is a man of pace. These are some good times. There are some stinky ones, like this one. But that's okay. Just an unfortunate stronghold, maybe mismeasure. And whatever, but honestly... Oh, but he is a forfeiting demon too. Oh, but this is good times though. But the death and the forfeit. Oh, we don't like seeing forfeits. That one doesn't count. Oh, FBO, you might have convinced me. Maybe FBO takes it over Nominal Gravy, but then I do think an FBO Super TF match is a little closer. This is cinema. Fun fact, by the way, these guys have technically teamed at a Minecraft event for one minigame, which was during Block Wars Rookies. I do think I am reverting this to be FBO over Nom. But Man, I mean, FO has faster Bastion splits from what I just very briefly saw. It's not a crazy difference, but it's just slightly better. Just like ever so slightly better. So I do think that might save him, but also I do think FO plays a little bit more, with a bit more risk. So that might be, that could be something that affects him negatively, but damn. I want to see Super take this match, but I do think FO is a favorite out of those two. Probably. But clicking Super TF is funny. I don't know. Anyways, onto the losers bracket. Lexi versus False. Honestly, no clue who that goes to. Has False gotten actual matches in? Like completions? I actually haven't seen that. Maybe, potentially, right? I feel like there's a chance. Oh yeah, okay. No, I like that. I do think False is the favorite out of those two to take that. And I would also say compared to Eloise, False would probably be the favorite to take that. The difference is coaching. I think Curry hands-on coaching is probably favorable over, not even just Curry hands-on coaching, Curry and K4 hands-on coaching is probably more favorable than Hacks and, is it Hacks and Monkey? Who is on Hax's team? Actually, I don't remember. Regardless, I do think False just has the proof in the pudding, which I think is nice. You'll love to see that. Obviously, these are practice. These are what, overall practice? I was going to say that's some crazy times if that's real, but no. Okay. Then Deme versus Scar. I think Deme is favorable over Scar. Probably. Scar has Fruit and Booster in his ears. Deme has Lewis and Harvey, actually. I now remember who is teamed with Harvey. Lewis and Harvey I think is pretty good. I've seen Lewis and Deme do a lot of practice. I've seen Scar and Fruit also do a lot of practice. I do like the Deme selection here. Slightly more favorable in my opinion, which is interesting, right? Molly versus Saps, I do think goes to Saps. Saps has number one more experience and just is mechanically a little bit better. Then Paperback versus Bilzo. I don't know. This to me feels like the Ryan versus Ryan from mid-off season 1, where I don't know. Because this is Infume-led Paperback versus Bilzo, coached by... Yep. I don't know. No clue who Bilzo is teamed with or teamed on. I couldn't tell you. But I'm going to give it to Paperback. Sorry, Bilzo. Maybe Bilzo is low-key a demon and I've underrated him, but I'm going to give that one to Paperback. I see there's potential, alright? There's potential. Then we continue forward. Ludwig takes it over Paperback, in my opinion. Saps takes it over Pilly. Then... Ooh, Bitzel Supreme versus Deme. Interesting. Does Feinberg go through this tournament with more than one win? There's a chance. I think Bitzel is likely to take it over Deme, but I wouldn't write Deme out of the question. I think Deme has a shot. Deme, underrated for this tournament, potentially. Underrated, right? And I ride with my VTubers every now and then. I'm not a VTuber myself, but those are my homies every now and then. Anyways, False versus Bitzel, honestly, I haven't actually looked at the Bitzel stats. Is Bitzel, like, goated? Okay, Bitzel's pretty promising here. Gold 2. I like that. I like the looks of that. Alright, hold on. We got Rudy playing as well. Interesting. Bitzel has been clocking in a 12-hour shift every day on this, so I will say Bitzel, just sheer commitment alone, probably gets the favorability over False in that match. Saps versus Ludwig. Now that's interesting. Now that is interesting. What is Ludwig? Isn't he Fat Shud Lolcow now? Isn't that his username? Gold 1. Okay. Alright. We're putting 16 minutes time. Why is Ludwig better than me at speedrunning. I might need to lock back in. Kyle F. Nerdy backseating for Ludwig versus, is it Mungie and Hacks, right? Mungie and Hacks backseating for Saps? I don't know, man. I want to see Ludwig make it through, but I think the odds of it being Saps are maybe slightly more favorable, but it would be kind of funny to click Ludwig here. I think he has a chance. He has a chance. He has more speedrunning experience. He just needs to, like, accept that his coaches are better than him and listen. Which I think Saps will listen no matter what. He'll be obedient, but I don't know if Fat Chud Lolcow will follow suit. Because what? Ludwig's average time is, it says 25:39. I would say that's a little bit quicker. If you just look at the recent stuff, it would be like 22, maybe 23. Saps hasn't played against many people, but has been playing single player a good amount and does get sub 20 consistently as of the past 24 hours or so. I don't know. I think Saps takes that, but I hate to see Ludwig go. But I love to see him leave. Okay. I did not need to say that. Anyways, Nominal Gravy versus Bitzel. This is a cool match. I like this match. I will give it to Nom. But I do like this match. That's fun. And then Juicy versus Saps. I think Saps favorable over Juicy, but I wouldn't write Juicy out of the equation just yet. Then Nominal Gravy versus Saps is in favor of Nominal Gravy, but not by a crazy amount. Not by a crazy amount. Nom over Saps. And then Super versus Nom. Dude, the thing is like, we also have more time to practice. Super picked things up so quickly again. Because what? Everyone started around the same time. Super has a history with Minecraft speedrunning. He actually had like a pretty respectable time back in the day. He's in Gold 3. I think he might be the highest rated player elo-wise right now out of all the people that are participating. I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. And then we see the rematch of FBO versus Super. Potentially. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. I don't know, man. I feel like, honestly, purely for my bias towards non-Minecraft players being included in Minecraft tournaments, Super TF is my winner of the mid-off Season 3. Is that a crazy take? Potentially. Maybe not. But I would love to see that. That would genuinely be so sick. I think that would be so cool. Super TF winning. Because the clips, FBO winning would have great clips. Super winning would have great clips. FBO winning, he'd just be glazing in Fume and Feinberg. Maybe talks about Ludwig. Super TF, he'd be talking about Ludwig and talking about Feinberg. I'd love that. That'd be great. That'd be great. Speaking of Super, notice how in any of these conversations, one of the only coaches I have not spoken about is Booster. Where has he been? Bro signed up to be a coach for the mid-offs and hasn't shown up to anything. At least not that I've seen. Maybe I'm a hater for no reason. But where's Booster? I'm just saying, Fruitberries has been left alone. What happened? I saw him coach Super, I saw him coach Scar, I haven't seen Booster do anything. How about them apples? I'm just saying, alright? Anyways, those are my pick'ems. Let me know your thoughts on my choices. We'll have to see if I have a good opinion of people's skill levels, and we'll also have to see how the matches goes. We won't see any of this take place. We won't see which 2 players will be which 4 players will be eliminated live, because there are going to be 4 people eliminated from the mid-offs tomorrow or today by the time this video is up. Well, actually, as of recording as well. Today, 2 people get eliminated from the mid-offs. Which, my god. Which, according to our predictions, would be Lexi, Scar, Molly, and Bilzo. It's not. Hey, look, man. I didn't make the bracket. All right. I want to see Scar win a round. I want to see Lexi win a round. I think it would be cool if Molly and Bilzo got a round off of someone. But either way, somebody gotta be eliminated first. All right. It's gotta happen at some point. And I think Curry would be respectable about false symmetry, Hermitcraft member beating his own student, even though, it's a bummer, but potentially. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye!